Alright guys, what's up? It's Showtime with Showtime Shred Fitness over here. Size, growth, get big. Alright, so today's topic is going to be about 2005 Wenatchee show. So I've been out, still haven't gotten to the reason why I retired, right? But 2005, I've been done competing since 2000. I was gonna do another show in like 2001 and 2002, but I ended up being kind of forced into retirement, kind of sort of, right? Not really. I mean, I chose to do so. Took a break from it. Went to school, got my degree because I only floated like another semester. Got married, focused on that, having kids, blah blah blah. Right. So 2005. Actually, the same year we had Cliff. Cliff was born in 2005, okay? But shortly after he was born, I believe this was after, because I believe this was, I think we left him with Donna Bappa that weekend. I went to the Wenatchee show, he's a newborn, and then I did that show with, no, that was 2006. So 2005, I was by myself. I did it for 5 weeks trip. It was not a good idea. I hadn't been that consistent beforehand. Didn't look that great to begin with. And then I ended up, and of course, natural and everything else. And then I ended up just deciding, you know what? I'm just not looking right. And I decided I'm not going to do the show. I dropped out of the show. I washed the paint off me and everything, right? And I went and watched the prejudging and everything. I was pretty sure that Roger Baker was going to get it. I knew he was going to get in his class, had it hands down, and Mel Taylor had his class hands down. I was pretty sure that. I hadn't seen them side by side yet, but I was pretty sure that Roger would win the overall. So that was a little disappointing though, because of watching them. It was just one of those shows. Sometimes you get lucky, right? You show up at a show and nobody really shows up in shape except for Roger Baker was phenomenal shape, and Mel Taylor, and there's one or two other guys that would have been pretty tough to beat too, and that was about it, right? And then everyone else came in soft and smooth, including one guy. You know, that I'm not going to mention his name because I didn't have the balls to step up there and compete. But this was a guy that competed several times top 5 in the Emerald and came in just super smooth that year. I was like, God dang, that'd have been a huge confidence builder, you know, to get top 3 in this dadgum show, you know. So, and plus I would have been up against stage with my buddy Roger. We never ever have been on stage before. That would have been one time if I hadn't dropped out, and then I'd have probably been heavyweight, which means that I'd have been second, you know, to Roger that year because everybody else was smooth. But woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? It was a good lesson, you know. Sometimes just show up. Sometimes when you think you're gonna win, you don't. Sometimes when you think you're gonna lose, you don't. So you always want to show up anyways. You gotta put the work in, the time, everything else. Then go do it anyways. And if you get beat, then guess what? That's a great lesson now. You've learned from it, okay? If you lost because you were not prepared, you can be fucking prepared right next time. It's going to get light a fire because you got a bad wrist, right? And that's what I thought was going to happen to me, and I actually would have not got embarrassed. And actually would have said, wow, now if I get in shape, that would have given great momentum for the next year, okay? So Roger won the overall, and Mel Taylor won his class, so that was a really good show. And then the next year that came, I'll just kind of collage these together, right? Because it's the same show, different year, and so there wasn't much comment on 05. So 2006, the Wenatchee show again, right? Same stupid thing, but worse. I did 4 weeks this time, 4, and I talked my buddy Sarah Bancomber into it, bless her heart, right? And for only 4 weeks, she looked damn good. Because this was last minute, guys. You know, we only trained for this show for 4 fucking weeks, right? And I was really bummed out, right? Because I didn't make the top 5. I was 6th place out of 8 guys. But this is my fault. You know, I came in smooth, but tight for the 4 weeks, so you would have seen the before and after pictures that I should have saved and didn't. You just saw a huge improvement, right? But still, not my full potential. And again, all natural again. Might have done a little cleanse for that show, I'm not sure. I can't remember. Definitely was doing it was either doing that or no, because I wasn't doing the caffeine aspirin, because I couldn't get a hold of ephedrine that year. It was illegal that year and I couldn't get a hold of it. So I either did cleanse or I didn't do anything, I can't remember. I think I did a little cleanse. And that was about it. So no roids and nothing. So go and do that fucking show clean, and got my butt kicked. Not because I was clean, but because I wasn't prepared, man. I only had 4 weeks, right? And if I was doing anything, it was just a tiny bit of prop, but I don't think I did any prop for that show either. I'm like 99.9% sure that there's a couple people that remember what I was doing. I'll ask them. But I think it was just a little bit of cleanse. That was it. But who cares? I mean, my placing sucked. But I had, some tough people in that class. So the freaking, there was Ben Matheson in there, and he came off, it was a really, really close second or third. And then there was an Asian guy. He was the one that was either beat Ben by just a point or two, or Ben beat him by a point or two. And then there was Mel Taylor, who won this whole show for his class, and then he may have won the overall too. I can't remember, but yeah, he did. He won the overall that year, Mel Taylor, and he got his pro card shortly after that. But no, I was a little ways down the road. That's right, because I was up against him in 08, a little after 08. 2010, 2011, somewhere in there. That's when he turned pro. But anyways, so that was that class was really, really, really good. And unfortunate thing happened after that. The guy who took that really close second or third to Mel Taylor and Ben, and he and Ben almost got in a fight, right? Because they were going back and forth and hitting like that Kai Green and Phil Heath episode that they did. Remember that? They were doing that shit, right? It's a good thing that guy didn't get into it too much, because Ben would have won. But there was no fight or anything like that. But poor guy, he was sleeping one night, and he passed away. And the poor kid had a daughter, like a 2-3-year-old daughter, and nice kid supposedly. His friends showed up, and they were really cocky. They're like, "Hey man," they saw me in the hallway. "Let me see your abs." So, "Hey, all right, man, your abs are looking pretty good. What class are you in?" I said, "I'm doing a heavyweight thing." He's like, "Oh, you're doing it. That's our buddy's doing that. He's looking tough." He goes, he's gonna have a good shot at winning the show. They go, "But you look really good too. You might give him a run for his money." And I wasn't even close, man. Sometimes you see nice lighting and everything else, and you got abs and you look good, and you get on stage and if I was all baggy, fucking sweats and stuff, they'd have seen me walk around without my shirt on. Forget it about it. They'd have known that their buddy had me beat hands down easy. They wouldn't even said that. But their friends were pretty nice. There was something about them though. They kind of just seemed just a little bit on the arrogant side. But bodybuilders get misinterpreted all the time. So anyways, I don't know why they had that cocky air, because everything they said was very polite and friendly and everything else. I don't know what it was, that maybe there was some condescension in their voices, something maybe at the time, maybe, I don't remember why I thought that at the time. Could have been because it was carb depleted, all that, who knows. But anyways, great show. I was disappointed. I was almost, was really just like on the steps, sorry for words, kind of just depressed and disappointed everything, and my wife was like, "Don't even be freaking mad. You freaking, these guys have been training, at least 16 weeks. Ben trained for a year. Just show up in shape next time, right?" And I was like, all right, thinking to myself, see if she's supportive too, because every time I try to do something, it's like a war zone, and it's almost like she gets in the way at that point in time, right? And she got better as things went along, and I think that might have been the turning point where she saw that you can't be slap-dicking around and freaking having feuds all the time and all that. So anyways, it's been showtime for Showtime Shredded Fitness over here. size, growth, whoosh, get big. That was 2005 and 2006 Wenatchee show. I believe it was still called the Evergreen State at that time, the one that I won as a novice in 1997. All right, take care and God bless.